enthusiasts, are you ready to take your sim racing experience to the next level? Look no further because 29 Graphics has got you covered. Introducing 29 Graphics, the premier provider of high-quality sim racing wraps. Whether you're a professional racer or weekend warrior, our custom design wraps will make your car stand out from the competition. 29 Graphics is now the official graphics design partner of Saturday Night Racing League.
It's a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash.
Contact 29 Graphics on their Discord or the link in the video description.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to. Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning in to tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWhorter. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time, and they know it. Horsepower at their feet.
That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
It's 2 races left in the regular season, and here tonight from the virtual Richmond Raceway, we're going to decide who's going to make that top 12 split for the chase and the championship. live here from Virginia. It's the Saturday Night Racing League, live on V-Speed. Presented by M&J Distributors. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Bradley Cooper, your host. And on behalf of Connor Horn, we have Sky Shrek up in the booth for Saturday Night Race from Richmond. Now, Sky, you're just joining us here for the first time, but we were watching practice. We were talking a little bit about the chaos that is Richmond, the short track style racing. This track, very similar to Iowa, but it's a lot tighter. It's a shorter groove. Walk us through what your opinion is here tonight, what we have in store.
Yeah, this is going to be a really exciting race. Richmond is a track, as you said, very short. It's a little similar to Iowa, but it's kind of shorter. Not a lot of banking here either. It leads to a lot of chaos with drivers trying to find a lane that'll work for them at this racetrack. Track's 0.75 miles, 3/4 of a mile long, 14 degrees banking on the turns, 8 degrees on the front straightaway, so it's not too much of a drop in there, and it's a kind of a four-corner D-shaped oval there with that curved front straightaway. We got 22 seconds left in the warm-up, and I think it's going to be a really exciting race tonight once these drivers finish. Then they get to the grid, and we can see how it plays out for 200 laps at Richmond.
Take a look at the points here. Alex Bell has the points lead. He's tied with Jeff Wright. But going into that cutoff, Jeremy Miller and Chris Hodges have 3 points separating those two drivers. That chase cutoff line is going to get even tighter after tonight. We talked about regular season points without the drop weeks. Well, here we are. We're factoring those in after Chicago. So it's just as tight as it was beforehand. Within 80 so points there in the top 10. And that's about how it was in the regular season. Some names have moved around. You got guys like Philip Brewer, Eddie Trejo that are outside of that top 12. Tonight's the night. You've got 2 more chances here to make that cut. And then you're just racing for consolation prizes after week number 10. Race analysis coming up on your screen. 200 laps here tonight from Richmond. 40 mile per hour pit road speed limit. They will have 4 tire sets available. 3 green, white checkers. And as always, 80% fuel on that iRacing fixed setup. But with that, we're set to go green flag racing here just momentarily. Let's take you trackside now. Get the grid up on your screen, starting on the pole here tonight. No surprise, Aaron Smith making another appearance here in SNR. He won the last time he was here. He's going to start up front with a 21.954 alongside Jeremy Miller in the number 30. Row number 2 belongs to Bailey Turner, Chad Klinger in the outside for 4th position. And then row number 3 belongs to Ryan Carwile. Alex Bell, the points leader, will start in 6th. Ray Massey and Casey Lakatos will be 7th and 8th. And rounding out your top 10 here tonight, it's Taylor Butcher-Benjamin and Jeff Wright in the number 48.
Yeah, moving back from them, we've got Joseph McWhorter in the 73 car starting 11th with Chuck Sweeting on his outside in 12th. Behind them in row 7, it's going to be Joshua Banks starting 13th with Philip Brewer in the 44 in 14th. 15th place tonight rolling off will be Eric Hutton in the 88 with Dakota Floyd outside of him in row 8 and 16th. Max Kost will roll off 17th in the 63 car with Gary Bergeron 18th in the 1. And rounding out the top 20 tonight will be Eddie Trejo in 19th and Rob Denton in that 93 car rolling off 20th.
But a few more cars out here on the racetrack to talk about. Brandon Wallace in 21st, Michael Jones 22nd. 23rd will go to Rob Hamp, and new name out here, Austin Belkey will start in 24th. 25th, Logan Threlkeld, V-Speed's very own in the 12 machine. And 26th position, Mark Whitley. 27th, Bryce Shoemaker, Caleb Weekly, 28th. 29th, Christopher Hodges, John Sanu. Few more, Mark McFadden, Benjamin Richards electing not to take times, Matthew Rafford and Keith Shoemaker, and rounding out the field there for the start of this race. So there it is right there on the screen. Aaron Smith electing to take the challenge here. So the EOL challenge to Aaron Smith, the driver that gets the pole. No one has won this award yet. They add $10 each week to the participant that gets the pole award and goes all the way to the back of the field. So it's going to be a struggle
He's going to have to be kind of Mr. Excitement tonight because he's going to go all the way back from 34th to the front, and this is a really tight track. It's really easy to get caught up in madness here, and if he's not careful, it could happen to him.
Let's find out here as we start up front with Jeremy Miller and Bailey Turner. Pace cars off. Green flag is out. Let's go live in racing from Richmond Raceway.
Going to take him off to the line. Here's that 24 car on the inside of Bailey Turner. We'll take him down into turn 1. Great jump around the outside for that 30 car of Jeremy Miller, who's going to get the run down the back straightaway. They'll go side by side into turn 3. No, Miller's going to clear, so he'll take the lead off that outside lane into turn 4, and he'll come out in the lead as we complete lap 1. Bailey Turner's going to go right back to the inside for lap 2, and they're going to go side by side down into turn 1. Miller's going to need that same run off the corner, and it looks like he'll get it again, but Turner's got a really good exit there, and they're going to go back down side by side into turn 3.
2x2 all the way back through this field. You can see all the way back to about the 16th, 17th position with Max Cost. They were side by side momentarily with Floyd. But right here with Chad Klinger, third position up for grabs on the high line. Chad Klinger is going to try to complete that pass. The outside's going to work for a while, but you will burn the right front off this car if you're not careful with it.
They're really close together there. The 09 of Chad Klinger kind of trying to pinch Carlisle off the corner, not letting him get the run on the exit, and they're going to stay stuck together into turn 1. Really tight there around the corner. 71 will run him up the racetrack a little bit, but they're not going to make any progress. They're side by side behind him with Massey and Bell as well. 2 cars, 2 rows deep now, 3 rows deep as Wright is going to stick the nose in that 48, and the caution is going to come out here on lap 5.
Problems here for Aaron Smith and Austin Belkey. Belkey gets some damage on that left rear. And for that 0 to hero challenge here, looking like it's already been a rocky start for Aaron Smith.
Yeah, that's the danger of starting from the back, is sometimes you just get caught up in accidents. We got so many cars on such a short racetrack. It leads to chaos, and starting from the back, you're more prone to get caught up in that, so we'll see a replay here.
Okay, actually already losing control there on that replay. It's backing up a little bit more. I don't know if Belkey had help here from Radford. He did into 3. Pretty minimal damage here, Sky. I think that Belkey will be okay.
Yeah, just a little tap there. It looks like he got it back rolling. Probably a little bit of damage to that rear end there, but it looks like he got away mostly scot-free. Didn't hit any walls or anything, which is going to help him out.
So our first caution here coming on lap number 5. After Radford gets into the back of the 89 of Belkey. Bring out our first yellow of the night. Bailey Turner takes over the lead, up 2 spots already. Bailey Turner has 2 wins. He's one of the multi-time winners here in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. While we're under caution, I think we pulled the 24 up here. Just a second here while I try to find and locate. There we go. There's Bailey Turner up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Bailey, looking pretty fire here, trying to add a 3rd win to that column. How's it going so far?
A little early to tell. Just trying to manage the tires here. I thought, based on the trends last time we were here, we went green nearly the whole way. So really just trying to manage the stuff. I know me and Jeremy ran a lot together in practice, and he had some good pace. So, and I'm sure you're going to see the heavy hitters like Banks and Jeff Wright, and if Whitley gets all of his wave rounds and everything that he needs, he could always be back in this thing. So yeah, just trying to take care of it right now and kind of see where things settle out.
I will say, don't forget Aaron Smith in that list of drivers, but you're kind of a heavy hitter yourself. This car looks really stout, and I know that you're kind of a short track ringer.
Yeah, this is probably a top 2 track for me, this and Martinsville. So really love the just taking care of the tires, and you got to manage your stuff over the run, and yeah, like I said, just you got to be there at the end. So I'm trying to manage it all right now.
Button Motorsports driver Bailey Turner, good luck out there, and maybe we'll get to talk to you post race.
Appreciate it.
There you have it. It's about saving tires, and that really is what it boils down to here at Richmond. Even under caution, you see a lot of these guys weaving back and forth trying to keep these tires clean, but it's so important to have grip. When you're trying to trail brake and get an entry, get a run, maybe complete a pass, you're going to see a lot of slide jobs. It's so tough to get around somebody here.
Yeah, Bailey Turner, I mean, he's going to have that clean air in the lead. He's sitting pretty, 6th in points right now. He's about 30 ahead of the cut line, so he's pretty good coming into this race. It would take kind of a disaster for him to kind of drop down the playoff standings right now, but he's still going to go for that win. And he's starting on the outside here. He'll be sitting pretty good, only 9 laps into this race.
So it's more of the same of what we saw at the start for the green flag here at Richmond. Jeremy Miller, Bailey Turner on the front row yet again. Chad Klinger on the 09. Well, I can tell you what, he's made it about 7-8 miles further than he made it last season here at this racetrack. Had a money shift there on the start of the race. Popped the transmission out. Now he's riding in 3rd, 4th position. It looks a little bit better for the 09. Here we go. Green flag back out. Caught him sleeping. Good start for Bailey Turner.
Yeah, Turner gets the jump off into turn 1, and Miller will have to fall into line back in 2nd with Carlisle in 3rd, and Klinger trying to make the move around the outside 4th. We're 3 wide. A couple cars further back there, 1 car in the middle, but we'll shake it out to the outside. As we're watching the battles further back in the field, you've got the 1 car around the outside there. 2 pink cars doing right around the middle of the top 10. That's Massey on the inside, and that 23 machine fighting for 5th right now. Bell trying to clear him on the outside, but he's still stuck behind that 71 of Carlisle in front of him, and there's contact off the corner, but Massey does a great job to hold on to it. He's gonna have to go 3 wide into turn 3 though.
There's Jeff Wright taking advantage of that situation. Massey got really loose out of turn 2. I don't know so much if there was contact, but the 23 definitely got sideways. They're going to look 3 wide, and another caution here. It looks like Radford, more problems for the 97.
Yeah, caught up in another accident there. He's off the pace. We're going to have to get a replay and see what happened to him for, I mean, that's the 2nd time he's been involved in a caution in this race. We've only had 2 cautions, so not a good start for him at all.
Back. There's some contact with the 16, and I think that sent the 97 a little further into the corner than he intended. Chris Hodges just barely able to miss that. What a sharp-looking machine there in that 51. I think we just need to get a zoom in on that. Let's look at that really closely. What do you think?
Beautiful. Beautiful car.
We'll back up one more time. We'll ride on board with Chris Hodges.
He's going to come up on this accident right in front of him here. Yeah, 97 gets a little tap there, gets loose, and slides down the track. Has to take quick action to avoid that, but he's able to get through without any damage, and he'll be able to keep going unscathed.
A few takers down pit road. It looks like Aaron Smith came in. You'll only stop for the 70 machine. A few other drivers came in. Looks like some damage repair for Austin Belkey. Wasn't able to get it all fixed up from that last incident. Had some heavy left rear damage on that 89. Looks like Chuck Sweeting, Brandon Wallace, Christopher Hodges. Quite a few fuel-only stops here. And that's going to be part of the strategy, I think. You got to come down. You got to top off. Try to stretch this run out a little bit further. But with only 4 tire sets available, you don't want to burn one of those sets too early.
No, this track can be really rough on tires, and especially 14 laps into this race, it's just too early to come down and take them. Some of those cars further back trying to, maybe fix some damage, get some repair. It's harder to do that here because, I mean, you tend to get a little more damage at these short tracks, and then you have less time to fix it because the laps are shorter, so it can be really hard. Try to get some damage beat out here, and some minor damage can affect you at a track like this a lot more than a bigger track, something like Chicagoland.
We get a focus in here on the iRacing pace car. We said there just a few weeks ago that Logan Threlkel was driving it, and I can't quite figure it out here. But what I will say is that with this, well, you be the judge. Maybe he is driving that pace car. Look how he's using the clutch here, saving fuel in the pace car. That's good.
Yeah, got nice sunglasses on in there. I'm gonna need to steal those.
The actual look at Logan Threlkel here in the 12. Always got a different pair of socks. 2 weeks ago, they had my face on them. This week, looks like we're getting the Halloween theme here. Very similar to Dale Jr.'s racing gloves, I remember from back in the day.
Yeah, skeleton season. Got to bring those out for the race.
Yes, absolutely.
Halloween rest for nobody.
There's a look at Logan Threlkeld. Currently in the 20th position, up 5 spots now. A lot of work left to do, though.
Yeah, long race in front of him. Still 185 more laps here for sure. Up 5 in the first 15, but he's got a lot more work to get through the field.
So back to it here with Jeremy Miller and Bailey Turner on the front. Turner going to elect to start on the outside as the command car caught him sleeping last time on that restart. Maybe more of the same. 24 is going to keep ticking these laps away as we come around for lap 17 here from Richmond Raceway. We're going to hit that transition into early evening here. That track will start to cool down. Right now, the track temperature, 78 degrees. 72 on the ambient air temperature. It will come down even more as this night progresses. Here we go for the third time. Pace car out of the way. Green flags back out. Underway, Bailey Turner on the loud pedal.
Yeah, he's going to get away down into turn 1. Another great launch for him as Miller's going to fall a little further back to Carwile than he did last time. That car's going to try to make a move on the outside, but he's not quite close enough, and Miller will be able to fall into line in second with Carwile behind him in third and Klinger now on the inside instead of the outside for this restart, trying to make something happen back and forth.
Looking side by side with Carwile as the preferred line into 1. Gives a lot of room to the 0-9. This is a battle for third spot. Jeff Wright has worked his way up to the top 5. Up 5 now. On board with the 48. Pitch on the 0-9 of Chad Klinger, trying to get maybe a 2-for-1.
Klinger's still looking up the inside there for third. He's been trying it for a while. He's been side by side for what feels like the last 10 laps as long as we're under green, and he's gonna get a little nose ahead there out of the corner, but Carwile's got the better run on the outside of 2, and he'll be able to fight back around him into turn 3 and 4.
On board with Joshua Banks in the 35. This is another driver that we have an on board with. And there's a look at the simulator setup from the 35 machine. Thanks to the iRacer on YouTube. If you want his first person point of view, you can go over there and check it out. And one of the premier sponsors, the main sponsor here in the Cup Series, with M&J Distributors, continuing to work through this field, up 5 spots as well.
Yeah, he needs a good run today. He's currently about 10 points ahead of that cut line there to make the chase. So a good run today will go a really long way towards helping him out when we get to Atlanta next week and he needs to clinch a spot into the chase. He's still looking for 8th up the inside of Massey right there in 9th, and it looks like he's going to get the spot for now, but he won't quite be able to clear him down the front straightaway, and he'll be back to the inside into turn 1 and 2, and now it looks like he will clear that pink 23 car of Massey.
One at a time. Lap 22 underway. Chad Klinger still working around the 71 of Carwile. And last season when we were here, well, he's not out here on the racetrack this week, but it was Alex Bell and Reggie Ortega. They went back and forth for 15 laps, side by side like this. It took them an eternity, and that was for the 8th position. So, you know, those guys, everyone competitive all the way through this field. But those two, I mean, they never really settled it. They went side by side several different times in that race. And that's what Richmond is. It just seems so even out of these exits right now for Klinger. He's probably getting frustrated.
Yeah, both sides of this track look pretty good right now. That bottom line and that kind of one lane off the bottom line are working really well for these drivers. Klinger's been stuck side by side with Carwile for this entire run, and he still can't get cleared. Neither driver's been able to get an advantage. They've really been remarkably even around this whole racetrack, and now Carwile or Klinger on the inside is going to get a run onto Carwile. He can't quite get there as the 71 continues to pinch him down, and he's now starting to make time on the 30 car there. Miller right in front of him, who's running in second.
Trying to peek to the high line for the second position, but here comes the 09 of Klinger to fight back again. Bailey Turner going to lead another one this time by. He's led 23 out of the 25 laps completed.
Yeah, he's off to a really hot start here. He's been able to keep Miller behind him, kind of keep himself out of the chaos, which is going to allow him to maybe save those tires a little bit more than if he was back there in that battle for third going at it with those two cars.
Look at it from the blimp camera. It looks like Klinger's starting to prevail on the inside. He had the nose ahead out of turn 4. He'll put the nose back even with the 71 down the backstretch. You gotta wonder, Sky, are they burning up these tires racing side by side? Jeff Wright has been patiently waiting on these two to settle.
Oh yeah, definitely. With how hard they've been racing for third, those cars behind them. I mean, once this battle does eventually get settled, Jeff Wright's gonna have a really good shot to try to get around him for fourth and maybe even third. Because these cars are using up this first set of tires really quickly in this battle. Carlisle's using it to try to finally get around Klinger, but he just can't get there. And Carlisle, for now, is gonna hold on for third, but Chad Klinger just won't go away on the inside.
Battle continues for about the 7th consecutive lap here between the 71 and the 09, but now conceding some ground. Chad Klinger loses the spot for third, and here comes Jeff Wright for the 4th spot.
Yeah, right in a good position there because he didn't spend the last 7 laps fighting with Carlisle. He's going to have those better tires, and he's going to try to use them to his advantage. Carlisle's going to drop to the inside, leaving some clean air ahead of Wright to try to get around him on the outside. Doesn't get the run he needs, but he is starting to get clear of Chad Klinger. He will get clear of Chad Klinger down into turn 3. That 09 car is starting to drop through the field as the 48 is trying to mount a charge with the 73 of McWhorter coming with him.
Porter follows suit, gets to the outside of the 09. Continuing to move through this field. Joseph McWhorter also on offense. 6 positions gained for him as well.
Yeah, +6 from 11th to 5th. He's really charging through that field, and now he's going to look on Wright and Carlisle up in front of him in 3rd and 4th and see if he can get something done there as Wright drops to the inside on Ryan Carlisle, trying to get a move done for 3rd. And a really good corner for him. He's going to run him up the track a little bit on exit, but they stay pretty even. Wright will go back to the inside in 3 and 4, and he'll try to get the run on Carlisle, but Carlisle is going to fight back pretty well out of 4.
Lap after lap, Bailey Turner loving what he sees in his mirror. He hasn't had any contest for this top spot since he took it over on lap number 3. He'll carry on as Jeremy Miller tries to chase him down. A little bit deeper in the field, though. We still have a lot of racing going on. This is back here for the 18th position. Here's Max Cost on board with the 63.
Yeah, looking on that Ford car right there of Rob Hamp, and right in front of him, and a big send to the inside down into turn 1 to try to make something happen. Get around that 4 car for 17th, and he'll get there, he'll get clear, and now he's got a bit of space up in front of him to the next car up the road, the 70 of Aaron Smith there running 16th.
Aaron Smith on that Clark Print Shop full to EOL Challenge, trying to get around Jerry Bergeron in the 15th spot. Still a lot of work to do here for the 70 car. We've ran 35 laps for this top 15 on the stint. Top off with fuel for Aaron Smith. He can go a little bit further, and that'll help his cause. He can stay out longer than the rest of these guys in front of him.
Yeah, and I mean, he clearly has the pace. He qualified on pole for this race, and even despite that very near miss on the first caution, he's driven it all the way from the back, 34th position, up to 16th and counting in the early going of this race, and he's still got about 164 laps left ahead of him to move from 15th up to the lead and get around not just Bergeron and Hutton in front of him, but hopefully for him, Wright, Miller, and Turner up there in the top 3.
Aboard with your points leader, Alex Bell, on lap 37. Trying to get clear of Klinger, almost made some contact into the entry of turn 3. Gonna hold it down there. The 09, since that battle between him and Ryan Carlisle, burned up those tires a little bit. Looks like the 09 fading away a little bit each lap.
Yeah, he's dropping all the way back to the field. He's gone back to 7th here. Looks like he might have had a car in the wall in front of him there, as he'll get a little bit of space to that 15 car of Alex Bell behind, but he's still holding on to 7th for now. And now the battle is going to be for 5th up here between that 73 car of Joseph McWhorter and the 35 of Josh Banks, sending it up the inside into turn 2 as they continue to stop Carlisle, who just like Klinger has worn those tires up from that fight and is slowly starting to drop time to those top 3 cars of Bailey Turner, Jeremy Miller, and Jeff Wright, who are all trying to check out from this battle for 4th behind.
Klinger got into the wall a little bit there just before turn 3. And it looks like Banks going to try to get the 2-for-1 special. Doesn't quite clear the 71. He does get by McWhorter in the 73. This is for the top 5. Actually, Banks already in there, but he's going to look for 4th now. Carlisle has put up a fight on this outside. He's worn out a lot of tires already. Banks is going to be wise to try to get by him as soon as possible as they see the 3rd and top 3 pretty much pulling away.
Yeah, that battle for 4th still going. Banks is going to get it up there a little more this time. He's not quite clear yet, and he's going to try to fight back around the outside. Carlisle is, but I don't think he's quite going to get there. That curved straightaway is going to give a little bit of an edge to Banks on the inside. He'll be able to get away for 4th. Now it's McWhorter trying to get something going for 5th on the inside of Carlisle. Again, he wasn't in a tight battle for a lot of this race, so his tires aren't as burnt after that battle that Carlisle had with Klinger, and now he's going to try to steal that final spot in the top 5 away from him. As Klinger has continued to drop, he's fallen behind Alex Bell back to 8th.
And now the 70 of Aaron Smith, finally to the inside of Jerry Bergeron for the 15th position. Coming out of turn 2, side by side down the back stretch. Aaron Smith just needs to clear this one car, and he has some clean air in front of him.
Yeah, they're going to go side by side again down the straightaway, but Bergeron's making that top line work really, really well for him, and he's done a good job of holding off that hard-charging 70 car here for the final spot in the top 15. Bergeron done a really good job of just running that top, not letting him get the run off, and that's what he needs to do to hold on to this 15th spot for now and hold on to that top 15 position.
Quarter of a way through roughly here, 45 laps into this 200-lap run. Bailey Turner, Jeremy Miller, and Jeff Wright, the top 3, as they have pulled away from Joshua Banks. Banks has put some gap between him. McWhorter wasn't able to get around the 71. Carlisle holds it into 5th. So we approach lap 46.
Battle still raging. They're still side by side a little further back as Klinger's already fallen out of the top 10. That's Butcher Benjamin in that 10 car up his inside in 10th place. Lakatos has also gotten around him there for 9th, and Klinger's on the outside trying to fight back against Taylor Butcher Benjamin there in that 10 car. He'll get it for now, and he'll clear him for 10th. But he is rapidly falling through this field the longer this green flag run goes on, and now Carlisle is starting to slip further back towards the likes of Alex Bell and Ree Massey back there.
Asa Lakatos in the number 50. In a situation here with the points as well. We were talking about that just in the pre-race. But you can look right here. Casey Lakatos in 8th spot. And he's not too far from that cutoff line. Only about 24 points separate him in that line. You've got a lot of drivers that are outside looking in, like Matthew Radford, like Max Cost. Chris Hodges right on the edge of that. Lakatos doing what he needs to do here to maintain this top 10.
Yeah, Jeremy Miller is having a really good run. He was right on that cut line in 11th, and look at this. He's up for 2nd now, challenging for the lead on Bailey Turner. He's gotten right up to the bumper, closer than he's been since this restart, and he's starting to get there for the lead, with Wright also closing that gap back in 3rd. All 3 of those cars pulling away from Joshua Banks, who's got a 2nd behind in 4th, and then it's another 2.5 seconds back to that 2-car battle between Carlisle and McWhorter back there.
Side by side continues. The 71 has pretty much written the book on how to defend the outside on almost 3 wide. They will go 3 wide into 3. Here comes Alex Bell on the bottom.
Bell trying to charge up the inside of that 3 wide. They're not quite going to stay 3 wide because Carlisle's got that run on the outside. He's got that lane working really well in defense, but Alex Bell is going to be able to send it up the inside of Joseph McWhorter back there. He'll take 6th away for now, and Carlisle up in 5th is now under threat from the fast-charging 15 car, trying to move himself into the top 5, 51 laps into this race.
Maybe on board for the 15. Oh man, that's tight there into 1 and 2. He's going to fall back to the clutches of McWhorter. He's done a phenomenal job on the outside. Even though that car maybe not up the speed like some of these other guys behind him, he's going to make it difficult
Yeah, that outside's worked really well. We've seen it working for Gary Bergeron back there in 15th as well, because he's done a really good job of holding off Aaron Smith in that 70 car just by running the outside and not letting him get a run up the inside. It's working for Bergeron, it's working for Carlisle, and even though Carlisle has fallen about 0.2 of a second back from Joshua Banks in 5th, he's still keeping the rest of the field trapped behind him, with Joseph McWhorter still in 6th.
And that's what the name of the game is here at a short track. Make it difficult to get around you. Save the tires in the process. Looks like Carlisle is doing so. Nobody's been able to get around from 6th place on back. Here goes another attempt here from McWhorter. Just enough drive off of the corner for Carlisle to hold on for another position. Three-way battle for the lead, still hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one kind of like half lane up there is really, really working for Carlisle, but these top 3 cars are all still right around the bottom. Different lines being run kind of depending on what situation you're in. If you're trying to just make time go for the lead, it looks like right around the bottom is the way to go. If you're trying to defend, looks like a little bit higher is the way to go, because you're able to choke off the run of the cars behind you, which we've seen Brian Carlisle do for about the last 10 laps now.
And just an amazing drive here for Bailey Turner, trying to add a 3rd win. And you look at the Cup Series versus the Challenger Series, multitude of winners. I believe in the Challenger Series there's only 1 repeat winner, and here there's only 2. How competitive does that kind of, the appearance when you first get in here? Sky, you're new here. What is your take on that? Because you know that, well, you don't know who's going to come out on top. But on top of that, you don't know who's going to make it to that final 12 based off of these points.
Yes, it's really even so far. I mean, Turner, he's held the lead for a lot of this race, led almost every lap, but Miller and Wright are still there lurking. Joshua Banks is rapidly driving up through the field, and I think there's some cars further back, like that 70 of Alex Smith, that are going to mount a charge as this race goes on. So it's really anybody's game here with 140 laps at Richmond. A lot of different ways this could shake out still. Turner still holding the lead for now, but Miller has consistently been about 0.2 back, and he's starting to hit lap traffic from these cars at the back of the field.
There was a 31 and Keith Shoemaker letting the lead 3 go by. Jeff Wright gonna go around. Here comes Joshua Banks. He'll be the next car. Met up at the wrong time though on the exit of turn 2. Now we'll clear into the entry at 3, and Bailey Turner down pit road for the 24.
First car into the pits in this lead pack is gonna be that 24 car of Bailey Turner, who's run really well up there in the lead, but he's gonna come down, take some tires, 60 laps into this race, and try to bounce it back out, doing a bit of an undercut here on Wright and Banks, and hopefully that will get him further out into the lead, so he can try to run away with this race more than he has already.
They continue to stay out. Jeremy Miller getting his 4th lap led in the 30 car. Here comes Jeff Wright to the outside. He's going to try to take it away. Door gets closed down the backstretch. Top 3 changing hands. Will the 30 come down pit road? No, he will not. Going to stay out for another lap. Here comes Wright.
He's back to the outside there. They're going to head down into turn 1. This is going to be the best chance he's had all race to steal that spot away from Miller. And he's still on the outside. Good run through the corner there for Jeremy Miller, but Jeff Wright is going to take the lead for now down the back straightaway. He isn't clear yet, though. Miller with another good run through the center of the corner, and now they're going to hit a lap car up the road, and Wright is going to get clear so he can dive to the inside around that car. Miller will drop back to second, and they're all still staying out on the racetrack.
Holding it on here, lap 64, and some of these drivers came down and topped off. There's Austin Belkey coming down for his pit stop. He was one of those drivers that stayed out. We got a few that have topped off, such as Brandon Wallace, Chris Hodges, Bryce Shoemaker, Caleb Weekly, Jeff Sweeting, and Aaron Smith. And Aaron Smith has worked his way up to the 12th position here.
Yeah, he's now looking on Butcher Benjamin in that 10 car, and he'll get him there,
2 for
moving
1.
up into the top 10. Oh yeah, double overtake there because he pulls away from the 88 too. Had a little bit of trouble off the corner. Alex Smith in that 70 into the top 10 here during this pit cycle, and he's got some clear air in front of him to try to pursue that 09 car of Chad Klinger that has rapidly fallen on those old tires. So Klinger starting this run in the second row. Alex Smith starting it at the very back, and they're getting close to meeting on the racetrack here for 9th place.
For Chad Klinger, I think it was just a product of racing side by side with Ryan Carlisle a little bit too long. It's caused him to be in this situation. You can see him riding just behind Casey Lakatos, the 8th spot. Chad Klinger going back on offense. There's the 24. Bailey Turner. And look at the chaos through the front stretch.
He's moving through some cars. He's on those about 60 lap better tires now. He's going to try to make some moves through some of these cars who have come down, some cars who haven't come down. He's up into 25th, 1 lap down with that pit cycle, but he's going to slowly start to approach Wright and Banks here, and maybe look if they stay out long enough to get a lap back. Wright has done a really good job holding that lead, though. He's pulling away from Joshua Banks, and he's taken about a 1-second lead over him there as Jeremy Miller drops to 3rd.
So for Miller riding in 2nd, he got a couple more laps led before Jeff Wright took it away from him. And ever since then, he's started to fall off the pace. You can see he's losing some ground to the 35 of Joshua Banks. We'll wait patiently here because the 35, he tends to strive here on tracks that go green, especially when it's a short track. If it's under a mile, Joshua Banks is going to find his way to the front. If you keep going green for long enough, he'll win this race.
Yeah, he's plus 11 since the start of this race. Started out back in 13th, and he's driven his way up to 2nd on this long run. He's been one of the faster cars in the field for sure. But look at that. It's the 24 car on that undercut strategy. Bailey Turner will fly around him on the outside here on those fresher tires. Now looking to get around right to get his lap back. But Joshua Banks will be the next car down pit road, and he'll pit on lap 71. The rest of the cars around him, though, are going to stay out for now.
So does this force the hand of Jeff Wright and Jeremy Miller to come in as well? 72 laps on the stint for all of these cars pretty much in the top 10, with the exception of Aaron Smith, who came in and topped off during that last caution. Here comes another one, Ray Massey.
Yeah, another car down pit road there. Leader slowly starting to trickle. I think Wright and Miller are definitely going to have this overcut work for him, because that 24 car is on 13 lap fresher tires if they pit right now. So he's really made a lot of time up on those newer tires, and that's time that's going to be lost when these cars come into the pit lane. So they're going to hope that staying out longer gives them better tire life over the next run, and it kind of balances out with that 24 car of Bailey Turner there.
We're going to probably figure out here with the 24 being on older tires how much he really has in the tank. He's making up a lot of ground on Jeff Wright and Jeremy Miller as he was able to unlap himself, work his way up to the 14th spot. Jeff Wright, Ryan Carlisle just now getting out of turn 2.
Yeah, more and more cars starting the pit. We're down to only about 15 on the lead lap. A lot more cars starting to make their pit cycle. Jeff Wright still out on the racetrack there with Ryan Carlisle and Alex Bell currently holding down the top 3 spots. All those cars in the top 10 have not hit yet, and with 76 laps to go, it's a matter of how much longer can they stretch it, because more and more cars are coming down every time.
There's Joseph McWhorter pitting from the 5th position. He'll get in perfect to the box here. Jeff Wright going to stay out an additional lap on top of that. The 30 looks like has came down for service. Talking about Jeremy Miller and how solid he's been in the top 3. Just now back out on the racetrack, Sky. I gotta say that this strategy is all over the place, and I think we have a caution or two to thank for that.
Yeah, those early cautions really kind of threw a wrench into things, and it's led to a lot of different strategies being played. Cars trying to make it as long as they can, like Jeff Wright up there in the lead, and then some other cars, like that 24 car of Bailey Turner, who's made it all the way back around to 11th, trying a lot shorter of a strategy to go for those fresh tires and carve his way through the field before these cars like Jeff Wright and Ryan Carwile finally hit the pit lane. We're on lap 79, and they haven't showed any signs of coming down yet. So they're still holding on as these guys like Joshua Banks back here, along with him and Bailey Turner and all these other guys in the pit, are finally carving their way through the field and starting to blow past these cars in the top 10 who haven't pit yet.
Back on the lead lap here for Banks here shortly. He only has a few more feet to get to Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright just now coming out of turn 2. Go back to Banks here. He's exiting. He's in the backstretch. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
There's Jeff Wright.
Yeah, Jeff Wright finally coming down on lap 80 after that long opening stint to start this race. He's going to come out a lot further behind some of those cars who made those early pit stops, but his hope is that with those cars coming down early, he'll be a little faster on the overcut, and he can make the time back over the course of a run. Remains to be seen how that'll play out, especially with any cautions this race may hold. We are at a short track. It's prone to chaos and sudden cautions, and that always tends to throw a wrench in the pit strategy at these places because you never quite know when that might strike, as Alex Bell is also going to make the turn down pit road now in that 15 car.
Ryan Carwile comes by for his second lap lead. Onto the backstretch. When does the 71 bring it down? Looks like this time around, all the way to the bottom in 3 and 4. Ryan Carwile content with a lap lead on this stint.
Yeah, only a couple cars still out there. Casey Lakatos, Chuck Sweeting, and Logan Threlkeld are the 3 cars that have held on, that have not come down the pits yet. And now Bailey Turner is up to 4th on those tires that I guess you can't really call them newer anymore because they're 23 laps old already. But he's made it up to 4th, and he's chasing down those top 3 cars who just need to make a move down the pit lane, and then he'll get the lead back.
Jason Lacatus takes over the point. 2 laps led now for the 50 car, and we've got a car sideways. That's the 13. Caleb Weekly, a spin in 1 and 2.
I said you never know when the caution's going to come out at these short tracks, and right there it is. That is big for these cars up here in the top 3 who haven't made a pit stop yet, and it might even leave a couple cars there further back trapped a lap down with that sudden caution for the spin of the 13 car.
On the V-Speed instant replay, just gets loose on cold tires. The 13 goes around. It just come off a pit road. Cold tires bites the 13 car. Almost backs down into traffic.
Yeah, cold tires always a thing at short tracks. It's going to trip you up, and if you're not careful, that is what can happen. Just loses it into the corner, sends it a bit too much, and he can't hold on to it. Bit of contact with the outside wall there, but I don't think that's going to give him too much damage. He should be able to continue with a bit of repair. Nearly almost gave somebody a bit more repair there, backing down across the racetrack.
And Caleb Weekly back in 27th position now, trapped a lap down. Asa Lacatus comes down for service. There's the 24, Bailey Turner. Remember, he had short pit compared to the rest of this field, so he's going to come back in. Looks like right side's going up on the 24. Left side's probably as well. There's the jacks on the left side. Casey Lacatus down and away. Jeff Wright will resume the lead. 5 laps on the stint here.
Yeah,
Don't go
86.
anywhere, though. We have more coverage. It's going to continue here for the Saturday Night Racing League. Quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be at about the halfway point here on V-Speed. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to... Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors, for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWhorter. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time, and they know it. Horsepower at their feet.
That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
Here live from Richmond Raceway. The Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series is on lap 90 out of 200. Well, Sky, I don't know if you're familiar with what it means to get loud, but here, presented by 29 Graphics, we're going to go radio silent for this restart and present you Get Loud. 29 Graphics, Jeff Wright into turn one. Couple in the back of the field, Logan Threlkeld goes around. That was Get Loud presented by 29 Graphics, but Logan Threlkeld had some problems. We saw him there on the live camera. I saw him jerking the wheel back and forth, trying to get this thing back under control, and we got more problems for the 4.
Car through the grass there. He's going to hit the inside wall, glancing below off that for Rob Hamp. Still rolling, so is Logan Threlkeld. Both cars going around the racetrack. Threlkeld on the apron. We're going to get a replay of that. This is further towards the front here.
So here's Threlkeld in the 12. The 1 and 2 where he has problems. I'm not sure if he got loose on his own or if the 35 helped him around, but here we go. Into the corner. He just loses it. Yep, back in, steps out. Big drift there for Threlkeld into the wall.
Yeah, he really tried to save it, and for a second it looked like he was gonna. overcorrected a little bit and it bit hard right into the wall, and he ends up going head on. Even it looks like a pretty good amount of damage there, and he's gonna have to come down the pit lane to fix it. Another blow there entering turn 3 as he tried to get that car back around. And then the 4 car just goes around in the middle of the front straightaway. Whoa.
It was the transition here on the flatter surface. And for Hamp, gonna lose a lot of ground back to 30 seconds. So 2 problems, 2 separate incidents, but we stay green here. Here comes the 48 of Jeff Wright getting challenged by Bailey Turner for the lead.
Yeah, Bailey Turner up the inside. We hit the halfway point of this race. He's trying to get the lead back. He led most of the first 70 or so laps of this race, and he's still looking to get that lead back here around halfway. Wright is going to hold the lead for now. He's going to get clear around the outside of Turner, who's stuck back there in second. Turner will try another run up the inside. He'll take a quick look, but he's not going to be able to pull inside. Now he is on the exit. Pretty good exit for that 24 car of Bailey Turner, sticking the nose in on the 48 of Jeff Wright, and they're going to go back side by side into turn 3. This outside has been really good for defending, but Turner is trying to make the inside work and get something to get this lead back.
Jeff Wright is leaving plenty of room down there for Bailey Turner to get that run off the corner. As aggressive as we've seen before from the 48. There's a little pinch there in the entry of 3, but still not enough. Bailey Turner is going to get to his door. Side by side down the front stretch. Turner just not able to complete the pass, and this is allowing the 35 of Joshua Banks to creep into the picture.
We've seen Banks get faster as these runs go on, so if he's third this early on in the run, he might have something going later. He's moving up towards these front 2 as they continue to fight, and we might see a repeat of what we saw earlier in this race with that car of Ryan Carlisle, who's now been trapped a lap down, and Chad Klinger in that 09, where they battled so hard that both of them lost the tires and fell back to the field. Wright and Turner are going to try to avoid a repeat of that as the lap car of Threlkeld pulls off to the inside in front of them. They're still side by side for the lead, exiting 4. Neither car really able to get an advantage so far.
Well, this is what we saw earlier in the race with the 09 of Klinger, the 71 of Carlisle, is that outside is good at defense, and for the 71, he was able to hold on a lot longer than the 09. Will we see more of the same with the 24 Turner? Does he run to the inside of Jeff Wright for too long and then start to fade through this field?
As Joshua Banks slowly gets closer and closer, he's got that gap down about 2.5 tenths there down that front straightaway on the exit of 4. And he's going to try to run a little higher on the outside, following the footsteps of Jeff Wright, who's going to finally get clear on Turner, but he'll leave him the inside because he wants to be able to defend that outside line, and he will right here. Good run off the corner for Jeff Wright is going to get him another little bit of a lead, but Turner doesn't just want to tuck in. He wants to send it right back and try to get the spot.
Pepsi Zero Sugar on the back of the 48, able to prevail with Zero Sugar. Zero Sweat on the 48. He's able to hold on to it. I know with Jeff Wright tied with the points lead coming into tonight. And we're seeing Bailey Turner start to fade already. But with that points lead tied, it's been tight all the way through this season. Jeff Wright, the inaugural season champion. Brandon Wallace is around.
Trouble for the 99 car there. That's entering turn 1 right at the end of the front straightaway. Brings out another caution tonight on lap 106.
We've seen a little bit of everything. We're starting to see cautions, spring cautions. But we saw a green flag run, got through most of our green flag pit stops. I believe it was a contact here with the 23 Massey. Oh, a heavy hit.
Yeah, oh, big hit into the inside wall there. Yeah, Massey just getting into him down the front straightaway. A little bit of contact between the two. You're going to see another angle of this in the onboard of Massey coming down the front straightaway. It looks like Massey comes up, 99 comes down, and it ends in disaster for the 99. Big hit into that concrete inside wall there that ends the pit lane. Probably some pretty decent damage on that 99 car as well.
And tail end hit that inside wall pretty hard. One more look at it here. Massey kind of holds his line. I know it looked like he came up on the onboard a little bit, but Look, maybe loose for the 99 of Wallace, come down into him across the nose.
Yeah, it's not the first accident we've seen on that front straightaway today, really catching these drivers out here in this middle portion of the race.
Philip Brewer is going to stay out. Aaron Smith comes down pit road, as well as Jeff Wright, Dakota Floyd, and a few others. For the 44 car, this is going to be a challenge to stay in front of these guys. He's got 22 lap old tires now, and that fall off is going to be about 3/10 of a second, I would say, overall. But Brewer's going to get some laps led. He needs that situation. We talked about the points earlier. He's outside of the top 12. Brewer needs to have laps led, needs those bonus points any way he can get them. And if he could somehow figure out a top 10 or a top 5 out of this situation, it would help him tremendously going in to next week.
Yeah, and even looking at a couple cars behind him, Jeremy Miller was only in the box for about 5 seconds there, so maybe just fuel. Dakota Floyd in for 8 seconds, taking about 2 tires, and then those are the top 3 on alternate strategies before you get back to that car that was leading, or that was up front before the caution, Jeff Wright in the 48, who's now back to 4th.
Well, don't go anywhere. We still have more coverage to continue as we're past the halfway point here at Richmond, Virginia. Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors. The Cup Series will be back. More coverage right after this.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors, for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to B-Speed and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check it out.
For caution here as we get back to go underway. Philip Brewer, Jeremy Miller on the front row. Green flag is out. 22 lap old tires for the 44 car into turn 1.
Yeah, good run into him, or a good run to 1 for now. He's kind of got that group of cars who didn't pit behind him. Yeah, the 48's got it on the outside. Now he's going to try to fly around both of these cars. He's the first car on 4 tires, and he's going to send it up the outside. Oh, and there's contact! Car in the wall, big accident down the front straightaway. Leaders are all torn up.
Bailey Turner through the grass to avoid that.
Oh my goodness, that was obviously Jeff Wright, but it looks like a bunch of other cars also involved in that. The 44 turned head on into the outside wall. Those old tires caused him to slide up the racetrack a little bit. They were 3 wide outside of him, and it ends in disaster for most of that front pack.
Another look at it. He held it down on the entry of 3. I thought it was going to be okay, but slides up a little bit on the exit across the 30 of Miller, and there he goes. Hard hit to Floyd. Floyd destroyed here.
Yeah, a couple cars there just with massive hits, either to each other, to the inside wall. The 30 car, Jeremy Miller, that's not at all what he needed. He was having a really good run today. That damage will set him back for sure. And he was the last car on the points bubble. He was 12th in points coming into this race. You need to be top 12 to make the chase. And that big damage is going to really, really hurt his chances here today at Richmond and then leading into next week at Atlanta.
There's the spin right there and nowhere to go. Floyd gets a double tap.
T-bones the side of Miller there. That's only gonna make it worse for that car. He's gonna see if he can get it fixed, but if he can, he's gonna have a long road to go here in these next 2 races.
Was on board with Alex Bell. He got a little piece of it, but it could have been a lot worse. And let's look off the back of Jeff Wright, because this right here is as close as it's gonna get. He could have been destroyed here.
Yeah, he so nearly got wrecked there, but he just barely managed to keep it out just enough in turn 4. Little bit of contact with that outside wall, but he stays good. Doesn't seem to get too involved in that. He doesn't end up in the air like Casey Lakatos behind him.
Otis goes sideways. Here's on board with the 24 through the grass.
And a little air there over the infield access road too. Two cars there still up front are Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner. Christopher Hodges in third, also escaping that accident. And Aaron Smith in that last to first challenge, all the way up to fourth in that yellow number 70 car.
Shout out to him for what he's done. He's been patient all the way through this race.
Yeah, nearly ended in disaster very early on, but he's able to claw his way back to get up to fourth.
Aaron Smith holding on to it here for the fourth position. Lights will go out on the pace car here shortly. But as far as chances go, looks like Aaron Smith might have the best one. I mean, this total, it's been adding $10 ever since the season started. It's somewhere in the $80 to $90 range this week.
Yeah, $90 if he can get that car from first to from fourth to first. If the lights on the pace car are out, he'll have a chance to do it here. 83 to go. It's going to start to get go time here, and the field's going to get even more aggressive than they already were over the first 117 laps.
Jeff Wright with some damage on the back end of that 48. You can see there in this camera angle from on board, the 70 of Aaron Smith. Green flag is out, back underway from Richmond.
Jeff Wright will lead him down into turn 1, gets the run over the 24 of Bailey Turner. He's got that damage on the rear end, but he's not going to let it hurt him on the start because he'll pull away to the lead. Contact back there with Alex Bell in the 15. Christopher Hodges in the 51, but they keep it going steady, and now Hodges is going to be stuck in the middle of a 3 wide, dropping to the field after that contact with Alex Bell as Aaron Smith moves it up into third and gets closer to that last to first. Car around the outside, or car on the inside, is going to be Turner, and Bailey Turner will take the lead away from Jeff Wright.
Just behind that, Joseph McWhorter is also in a situation on offense. Up into the top 4 to the outside now for the 70. I don't think Jeff Wright knew how much damage he had here. Starting to suffer, falls back to second. Now has the 70 of Smith for that position.
Yeah, both of those cars are going to try to get him on the outside here as Wright's been pushed down to the inside. We know that outside lane can work really well, not just for defending, but for attacking. And Smith is going to try to get it here on Wright. He's going to stay on the outside. Wright's going to need a good run off, but he's not going to be able to get it because he's got the 1-2 combo of Smith and McWhorter kind of holding him back there, holding him down to the inside and kind of negating his runs off the corner. And now Smith will get clear and he'll drop to the bottom behind Bailey Turner, who's leading this race.
And for Turner, it's a matter of how long can you hold off. The 70 in practice, in qualifying, just a little bit quicker. I don't know if he has anything for him just yet. And the yellow flag is going to come out. Looks like another problem. Rob Denton, maybe, with a 5 of McFadden.
Our mid-pack there getting involved in an incident off the pace down the back straightaway. New York Yankees car. We're going to have to see what happened there to that machine. This is right around the back of the field, and the 5 car, oh, he just loses it into the corner. spins it out into one and then comes back across the racetrack, very nearly collecting a couple of the cars in front of him there. We're able to slow up in time to avoid him. That was close.
The 30 of Jeremy Miller has had enough problems, especially with that caution that came out just a moment ago. Able to avoid that. We'll go on board with the 30 car.
Hey, definitely didn't need another problem right there, but he's able to sneak through. You can see it from the onboard here. 5 car is going to lose it down into turn 1. They head down the front straightaway, and then into turn 1, the 5 car loses it before he even really gets into the corner there. And good job by Miller to avoid that and not make that wreck any worse.
The top off of fuel here for the 30 car. Bailey Turner still out of the racetrack. He will maintain the lead. Jeff Wright in the 48. That's our commentator for the Challenger Series. Let's see if we can find Jeff Wright. Bring him into the booth. There he is, Jeff Wright. I know you're getting some damage repaired, but I mean, how lucky was it there that you just got clipped? I mean, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely could be worse, but I mean, our car's pretty beat up. I'm about 2 minutes worth of damage here. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can fixed here, but yeah, that's really unfortunate. I thought we had a good chance there, maybe compete for a win, but we'll get her fixed and we'll get the best finish we can here. I know points battle with Alex is gonna be really tight now, so let's try to salvage what I can at this point, Bradley.
Well, you have about 75 laps to go to get this thing fixed up. I know they're coming out of turn 4 right now. It's gonna be a close one. Looks like 4 tires. Did you intend for that? Sorry about that.
I think we're gonna be okay, Bradley.
All right. Pretty
I
close
think
here.
we lightning McQueened it. Let's go.
Yeah, he's just lightning McQueen down the pit road here.
Yeah, that was a close one, but yeah, I just figured we'll throw tires on it at this point. Like I said, the rear of the car is pretty damaged, so going off in the corners, I had nothing for Turner there. But we'll get as many positions as we can, and hopefully we can still have a good points battle with Alex here for the regular season championship next week at Atlanta. So that's pretty valuable. Get those 10 bonus points, start the chase. We're going to do everything we can, try and get those.
Well, before we put you back down, and I need a couple shout outs just before I put you back in Hutton Motorsports.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the sponsors of our league. They do so much for us. So Walk and Roll and Costumes, Clark Print Shop, 29 Graphics. I'm probably missing one at the moment, but everybody who supports us and all these great guys have been showing up. I mean, pretty awesome race so far. We got a big turnout. So, and then obviously, thanks to you, Bradley Cooper, and everybody else at V-Speed for all they do. You guys are the best in the business, and we're really fortunate to have this partnership.
Likewise, appreciate your time. Maybe we'll get to talk to you. Still a lot to go here.
We'll do what we can.
Jeff Wright in the number 48. Bailey Turner going to lead him into turn 1 with Aaron Smith. Could he be the first to get that EOL award? Green flag out, back underway.
Okay, he's not going to do it immediately off the start. Bailey Turner with a good jump on the outside. Smith will fall in line on the inside. Eric Hutton trying to make something happen in that 88 car there in third. He's running through the field pretty well. Side by side with McWhorter back there in the battle for third. McWhorter on the inside. Side by side a couple rows back there. Get the spot for now. We'll pull up clear in front of Hutton. Butcher, Benjamin, and Bergeron still going at it for that last spot in the top 5. 3 wide behind them.
Guy Klinger, Eddie Trejo, Austin Belkey, 3 wide out of turns 2. They're going to stay 3 wide into the entry at turn 3, and here comes Chad Klinger back up to 7.
Trejo kind of slipping out through the middle there. It's going to be Klinger and Belkey now going back down into turn 1, and they're going to be 3 wide again with Trejo in the middle. That's Alex Bell, as we alluded to in that fight for the regular season title. Contact Trejo around in front of the field and a big hit.
93 got into him there.
Big damage for both cars, 16 and I believe the 12 of Threlkeld also all involved in that incident down the back straightaway.
Rewind at Richmond. Well, that's what it looks like sometimes.
Contact between those two cars. Yeah, he just spins it on exit, comes back across, and nowhere to go for that 93 car. Big wreck for the hood flipping up there.
Threlkeld got sent. I don't even think he was in this.
No, I don't think he had contact with any of the cars that were in the accident. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, contact with that 21 machine. Sends him around. Logan Threlkeld are in the inside wall as well there.
16 got into the back of him. 16 got into the separate incident as well. So some ARCA brakes here on board with Michael Jones.
There's the 16, not the 21 hitting Threlkeld there. Here's the inside wall, and then yeah, 93 just comes back in front of him, and he's not really on the brake pedal as much as he needs to be there.
And for Jeff Wright, he was able to dodge that, went to the inside, got around the vast majority of that, able to pick up about 5 positions out of that situation. 5 cars, 6 cars out of the race here. Ray Massey, Philip Brewer, Chuck Sweeting, Benjamin Richards, Rob Hamp, Matthew Rafford on the wall.
Yeah, I mentioned Jeff Wright. Said he was in that regular season championship battle there with Alex Bell. Those two came into this race tied. So Jeff Wright, we know he's got that damage. He's 17th right now, and he'll pit to try to fix as much of it as he can under this caution. Alex Bell is currently running just inside the top 10 in 10th right now, so he'll need to make it up to him and at least finish close if he wants to get this regular season championship heading out of this race and into Atlanta next weekend.
So I'm seeing some disappointment here, but I think we get a chat here. Just because Logan Threlkeld not having the greatest of days, but we're gonna pull you up anyway. I know that it's been rough here, man. You were in a situation where you got the car up front based off of where that caution fell, and as soon as it got up there, you got loose, fell out of the field, then you just get caught up in that incident.
Yeah, I got loose. I tagged the wall pretty good. About 4 minutes of repairs after that. And, I want to finish the race. I had a good truck race tonight. Pretty good avoidance on that last lap, and was hoping it would carry over, and it is not.
Oh, we got to show off the socks here. I know that, yeah, there we go. Let's get a good look at those. I know that you put a lot of effort into your driver cameras, and thankfully my face isn't on these ones.
No, not on these. Maybe I'll recircle back to those in a couple weeks or so. We'll just have to see. But
I hope the dryer ruins them.
I'm sure you do, but I figured I might not be the fastest on the track, but I could be the most lovable on the broadcast.
There you go. V-Speed golden child, right?
No, that's Morgan. I'm V-Speed's finest.
V-Speed's finest. That's right. Well, Logan, anybody want to shout out real quick while we got you in the booth?
Just the V-Speed team, man. Thanks for putting on the broadcast, and all the admins here at SNR putting on the races every week. I missed quite a few already, but here I am still plugging away, fixing damage, gonna get back out here on the track.
Good luck, man. I know it's been a tough one, but hopefully we can see you in a few laps.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Logan Threlkeld in the number 12, back green flag racing. Logan, just before we let you go, where are we sending you?
CSM.
All right. There we have it. Back under green, Bailey Turner, Aaron Smith, Eric Hunt, and Joseph McWhorter in a car to the outside wall. Not sure who that was. I think it was the 10 of Butcher Benjamin.
Yeah, he was running up there battling for the top 6 or 7, and he's into the fence. Oh, big contact with the one car of Bergeron, sends him up the track into the outside wall, and he will fall all the way from the top 10 to 18th position. Big drop to the field for him, as now we're 3 wide coming off this corner here. this is for the 7th or the 8th position right here with Bergeron around the outside of Bell.
Bergeron got into the back of the 16, sent him up the racetrack. Now the 15 is going to clear. On the wall just ahead of him, it looked like Mark Whitley got a piece of it.
Yeah, it's all starting to get aggressive now with 62 to go. We've seen the cautions ramp up. We've seen the aggression ramp up out of these drivers. A lot more 3 wide than we saw earlier in the race. They've been going at it for the top 10 positions, and they're trying to get some points here with just 61 laps to go in this race.
Time's ticking away. From here on out, they can make it on fuel. Challenge for the lead. The 70 of Smith looked to the outside on Bailey Turner. The door got shut.
Yeah, he's gonna look back to the inside. Near contact there, but he lays off of him. Doesn't want to push him up the racetrack there. Aaron Smith has about 90 extra reasons to want to win this race because he took that last of first challenge, qualified on pole, dropped to the back, and now he's up in second. Winning this race would get him $90 in bonus money, and he wants it badly here. As the laps tick down, he continues to hound Bailey Turner, who's led most of this race, and he'll try to lead for the first time today.
Eeks to the inside for a second time this lap. Just nothing there. Turner doing an excellent job of shutting the door, playing defense side by side back here with Eric Hutton and Mark Whitley. Whitley looking for the 4th spot.
And Whitley's had a great charge up through the field now. Didn't see much of him in the early bit of this race because he started out back in 26th, but he's running up to 5th and now 4th as he gets around this 88 car of Eric Hutton there, and he'll even get clear off the corner. So Whitley is up huge from where he started, up 22 spots. He's now running in 4th, and he can try to chase down McWhorter up there in that 73 machine.
We're side by side in the top 10 as we have Alex Bell and Joshua Banks into turn 3. Banks holds it on the outside. Pretty good defense. How about that for Jeremy Miller? Back up here into the top 10. I know it's not where he wants to be and where he was consistently at in the first half of this race, but how about it for back to 7th?
Yeah, great recovery from him, and he's being challenged by Joshua Banks here. Will send it up the inside. Both of these cars have run up in the top 3 at points in this race. We know they've both got a lot of speed, especially in the long run. So look to these 2 cars here, 7th and 8th, 35 and to 30, to try to make some moves up through the field as this run continues. And a big send for Alex Bell is going to move him up into 8th, stealing that spot away from Miller in the 30.
Another big send here with the 35 of Joshua Banks inside Chad Klinger. He will clear through 3 and 4. Up to 6th position now for the 35. Bailey Turner still playing defense on the 70 of Aaron Smith. Started to calm down a little bit as you see the 24 get a good run out of 1 and 2.
Yeah, Bailey Turner starting to pull away a little bit for that 70 car, is dropping closer and closer to that 73 machine of Joseph McWhorter. We've seen him in the top 10 a lot of this race, but he's really found another gear in these last 50 or so laps, running up on the podium right now and looking to make some time on these top 2 cars as the battle continues to brew. Smith is going to maybe have another look up to the inside here, but he won't quite be close enough. Still under 0.2 of a second, and I'll hope he can get a run on Smith out of here to try and make something happen.
My side again here with the 35 of Banks looking to crack the top 5 inside of Eric Hutton. Hutton, of course, one of the big gainers up here in the top 10, up 10 positions. But it looks like going to lose one of those, now only up 8. Joshua Banks up 8 positions as well. Hutton actually up 9, but 22 for Mark Whitley. And Aaron Smith, I mean, if you want to get technical, started on the pole. But it was all the way back to the tail end with this challenge. We'll chalk that up to the biggest mover of the race right now.
Yeah, last to second. I mean, you can't move much further than that unless he gets to first, which he is still trying to do here in this 70 machine. Looking on Bailey Turner as he has the last 10 laps. We're within 50 to go now, so it's really time for him to get going. It's right up to the bumper there on exit. Turner gets the better run out, and Smith won't be able to challenge him quite yet down into turn 3. He's getting right up to the bumper every time, but he doesn't want to move him out of the way. And he might try the outside here, won't quite get there, and he'll still stay in line for second, biding his time, waiting to get this move done.
So I need to correct myself that I said these drivers can make it to the end of this race. That is not true. Most of the top 10 is 43 laps on the stint. Challenge for the lead again here. Smith finally to the outside of Bailey Turner. Door shut again. Now a dive to the inside.
Yeah, crosses him back over into one. They're going to be side by side through this first set of corners, and Smith is going to try to get a good run out, but Turner shuts the door on him pretty well. We know this outside works really well for defense, and Bailey Turner is using everything he's got, squeezing Smith right off the corner, and it's stopping Aaron Smith from getting any kind of run, and he has to fall back behind Bailey Turner, unable to get the move done.
Lap after lap continues. 153 about to be completed out of the 200 from Richmond Raceway. The Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series putting on an excellent show in their short track series with Bristol and the Challenger. That was a phenomenal show. A little bit caution heavy. 14 cautions here tonight with a race recap. We've had 7 with 9 lead changes. Bailey Turner doesn't have Jeff Wright to compete with. Now it's Aaron Smith, who is kind of falling off here as of late.
Yeah, Aaron Smith is starting to drop a little further back, slowly towards the clutches of Joseph McWhorter and that 35 car of Joshua Banks, who has just been charging through the field up to 4th. He got around a bunch of cars there. Alex Bell also charging through the field. He's side by side back there with that 88 car of Eric Hutton. Both of those cars have been making moves, but Alex Bell has really turned it on here in this run. Started right around 10th, and he's trying to move up to 6th here if he can get around this 88 car on the inside.
It's technically 2 people driving this machine as we ride on board with Alex Bell. Baby on board. I don't know how NASCAR feels about that.
Got the car seat back there in the passenger seat, 2-seater.
Simply go look at that. Who's riding passenger here?
Hidden by the armrest there. He's got the little cradle in there on the side.
This is from the baby's perspective into turn 3.
Probably the fastest that baby's ever gone.
157 laps complete. Bailey Turner continues to lead. How about the defense? He has played so well on the outside and has maintained the lead. You can go through all of the different challengers between Jeff Wright, between Jeremy Miller, and Aaron Smith, but the 24 car, when he's on the same tires as everyone else, he just prevails, and now it looks like he's going to pull away. Does he short pit, though? I got to ask, in this situation, do you want to cut this run short? I think you go to the halfway point.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him try it earlier, and it worked pretty well before the caution came out, but that's kind of always the tricky bit on these short tracks, that a caution can come out as a car trying to get up the inside. Yeah, Joshua Banks is around Smith, charging all the way up to 2nd. He might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now because he's gotten that car around McWhorter, around Aaron Smith, and now he's got a clear lane. 0.6 of a second back from Bailey Turner. Is going to be up to him to close that gap down and get the run moving to get that 35 car in victory lane.
This brings me back to Season 2 in the Saturday Night Racing League when it was just the Cup Series. I believe it was Joshua Banks in the rivalry with Bailey Turner. In fact, the 35 had Bailey Turner's face on the hood of his 35 machine during week number 13. A lot of rivalries here, and they're very silent. They're always kind of a group of guys that will talk to each other post-race, but you know, when it comes to the racing aspect of things, they're just so competitive, looking for an edge every lap.
Yeah, Banks is getting closer. That gap that was 0.6 of a second, now down to 0.4 of a second and closing. Joshua Banks looking for his 2nd win on the season, but he has to pass Bailey Turner, who's looking for his 3rd. Both of these cars are doing pretty good in the standings right now. Bailey Turner's doing pretty good in the standings right now, and he needs to get a good run here to try and keep that going into the playoffs.
Another 10th that lap. Joshua Banks clawing away. Aaron Smith has fallen back about 0.7 of a second. Doesn't look like the 70 car is going to have a shot at that $90. Bailey Turner, Joshua Banks still duking it out. Now that Banks is caught up, though, to the 24. It looks like Dirty Air maybe playing a factor.
Yeah, that gap's down to 2/10. Aaron Smith continuing to fall off. I think if he wants a challenge, he might need a caution here because that gap's rapidly growing. Banks is 10th in the points right now, so he is in the clear, or he's in the good, but he isn't in the clear. He needs a couple more good runs this week, which he's getting right now, and next week at Atlanta to clinch a spot in that chase. But he's doing his part tonight at Richmond. In second and wanting more, and as we head down to 35 to go, he's going to try a send on the outside of Bailey Turner. We know that's the line that can work, but can he stay there off the corner? No, Bailey Turner shuts the door.
What a door slam there from Bailey Turner. He's done it better than anyone else. We see another send here from the 35 into 1. Doesn't look like he has the momentum off of turn 4 to do it again. It worked once. I don't think he's going to get it this time.
No, still there in second, still hounding. He's going to need to get creative, make something happen. Turner doesn't want to let him get that outside, and he's into the wall down the back straightaway. It'll cost him a little bit of time, but he's still there. He needs to get this run out of the corner because that's the best way to get around Bailey Turner. He needs to get a run out of 2 or 4 and get a send going. Got it on the outside once, but he couldn't make it work, and he needs to do that again.
They have pulled away about a full second from Aaron Smith, but if they get back side by side, Smith could get back into this thing. We still have 30 laps to go, roughly. Don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to play defense and offense at the same time for your Banks. You've got to make quick work of Bailey Turner, who really is up high through 1 and 2.
Yeah, still battling. Turner does not want to give Banks that inside, but Banks is saying, I might not even need it. I'm going to try the inside on Bailey Turner. Maybe a little bit of contact there between the two cars, but Turner slams the door, pulls down in front. He'll retain the lead down the front straightaway, and as we go to 31 to go, the battle for the lead is only heating up between Joshua Banks and Bailey Turner.
And just like season 2, Joshua Banks wearing Bailey Turner on the hood of his machine, trying to get by and get clear. How much longer is his patience going to last? Will he send him with a bumper? Here we go into turn 1 to the bottom.
He'll take a peek, but he's not going to be close enough to get there this time. He'll stay behind him. He hasn't really dropped back at all. The gap has stayed really steady. Only about half a car length at most. I mean, he's still all over that bumper of Turner. Needs a run in 3 and 4s. He drops a little further back to try to get the run, but it won't happen here, and he'll stay behind Bailey Turner. He just can't get the run he needs. He'll try the very top right now, going all the way, multiple lanes up to try to get himself a run off the corner. We'll see if it works down here. He will. A little bit will peek to the inside. Turner slams the door again, and with 28 to go, Banks still can't get around him.
He's going to get a decent run out of 4, though. Looks like both of them got a little bit loose to the bottom.
Yeah, here he goes. This is his chance. Banks is going to try to run him up the track, and Turner pinches him down. Banks has the nose on the exit, and he's a little bit ahead. Turner at his door into turn 3. Can he stay alongside? He's pinching him so far down. Try to get himself to run off, and it'll work. Turner will lead the lap, and they will stay side by side right on the doors of each other. Down into 1. Banks gets the nose out ahead yet again in 2.
Oh, man, I could see Smith here kind of licking his chops. He's starting to creep back towards these two. Last time by, he was a 10th faster, and it still hasn't completed the pass here for the 35. He'll lead another lap.
No, we've seen a couple times this race. Cars have gone side by side for a prolonged period of time. It's blown up their tires. He's got it for now, but Turner doesn't want to let him hold it because they'll jump to the inside down the straightaway. These side-by-side battles might wear their tires, and that might allow Aaron Smith to get back in it because Turner is giving absolutely everything he's got to get around Joshua Banks and get this lead back. Banks is approaching lap traffic, and that might throw just another wrench into things. We're under 25 to go, and this battle is far from over.
Turner concedes the position here with 25 laps left. Looks like he falls in line, gonna try to build up the momentum, nurse those tires back to health after all that defense. Bailey Turner trying to get his third win here in the Saturday Night Racing League. Joshua Banks looking like he might get a win in the column.
Yeah, that would be his second win of the year. This is a great result for him, not just for getting a win, but it would move him further ahead of the cut line in points. He's 10 above right now, would put him a lot more above on those cars with Jeremy Miller and Brian Chambliss back there in 11th and 12th. The cars he needs to beat to have a good run into Atlanta. He's doing exactly what he needs to do right now, starting to pull away from that 24 Bailey Turner as we enter this lap traffic.
Here comes Jeremy Miller. The damage on the back end, now surging back towards the top 5 outside of Eric Hutton through 3 and 4.
Yep, still moving there down the straightaway. Alex Bell also having a really good run. We've seen him charge up to 5th over the course of this, holding on to that lead in the regular season point standings. This is a bit further back in the field. It's a battle for 15th. Trejo on the inside, Belke on the outside. That 89 car is going to try to pinch the 21 off the corner to get a move going, but Trejo's got a good run on the inside down into 3.
Trejo going to clear there for the 15th position. Tight battle here between Chad Klinger and Ryan Carlisle as well. Position still very much up for grabs in the top 10. You can see McWhorter way up the racetrack trying to defend both Eric Hutton and the 30 of Jeremy Miller. Hutton back on the inside there briefly, but here comes Miller to the inside from the 6th spot.
Aaron Smith struggling, just got passed by that 77 machine of Mark Whitley for the last spot on the podium. They're still side by side. Smith got the run back down the inside into the corner, but he has slowly fallen back. Almost identical battles there between those two. Whitley's got around Smith for 3rd. Now Alex Bell is looking. Meanwhile, further back, McWhorter gets around Miller for 6th, and Hutton is looking. So 2 pretty similar battles going on for 3rd and for 6th back here.
It goes back and forth. Nobody can decide who's going to be the top 5. Alex Bell goes by the 70 of Smith as well. And that is the V-Speed Invitational champion in the 70. And just recently, we made fun of him for his graphics. And I think we mentioned that everybody got beat by a banana out on that racetrack. So Aaron Smith, very well known here at V-Speed. Here comes lap traffic. It's really throwing a wrench into things.
Yeah, that's going to really affect this lead battle between Banks and Turner. A bunch of lap cars. Turner needs to get around that 99 machine here, and he will, but I mean, these cars continuing to play a role in this fight. Now Banks is on the inside of the 50 car of Casey Lacados here, is trying to get this move done on the lap car, and that's just allowing Turner to close up to the bumper of that car, and Casey Lacados slowly dropping back to these leaders.
And the lead tightens back up. Bailey Turner navigates the lap traffic. It's now clean air in front of the 35 and the 24. I don't know. I don't know if Bailey Turner has anything left for Banks. I think it's a second win as long as we stay green.
Yeah, Banks has really pulled away. That gap was, I mean, they made the pass, then he's pulled out about 0.4 of a second on him here over the last 10 laps. Banks starting to move away. Aaron Smith also starting to fall back. Whitley would probably be the closest car to him on pace, but he would need to make up 1.6 seconds, and I don't think he's fast enough for that to happen. So with 14 to go, Joshua Banks in a great position to try to get the win, but anything could happen, and 14 to go is still a pretty long time.
Those Fat Boys Incorporated with the 15 of Bell and the 35 of Banks all on the same strategy. They have a little bit fresher stuff here. 63 laps on the stint. They have the freshest tires in this top 5. That, I believe, is why Alex Bell is just right on the cusp of getting into this top 3 to close this race out. Not a good sign for the 48 team. Joshua, or actually Jeff Wright, back in the 12th position here.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse than 12th. He's done a decent job of clawing it up as he's really loose out of 2 there. Struggling on those tires. It's going to give him a disadvantage going into Atlanta, but it's not an insurmountable run. A good run next week at Atlanta could get him back in the fight for this regular season championship. But Alex Bell is going to make his life harder for sure by getting this 4th and maybe even a 3rd place finish tonight if he can get around that 77 car Mark Whitley.
Well, that's what you got to do. Every point counts. Every position is up for grabs. We've got 20 or 10 laps to go in this race when they cross the stripe. I don't think that Bailey Turner has anything left for Joshua Banks. Banks is starting to check out. 5/10, half a second to come by for 10 laps left.
Yeah, 2/10 just in the last about 4 laps there for Joshua Banks. We've seen him have a long run car, and that's coming into play here because he's getting away from Bailey Turner, Mark Whitley, Alex Bell, and everyone else behind him there in the top 10. Great run for Joshua Banks, who's on pace to get his second win of the season and move himself up the point standings, putting himself in a really good spot for Atlanta next week to make the chase.
Through your top 10, Joshua Banks and Bailey Turner, of course, the top 2 cars. They've ran up front. For Bailey Turner, it's been a lot of laps led. Get that graphic up on the screen, 112. So it's over half of this race that Bailey Turner has had the 24 car up there. Don't think he has enough mustard left to get back up to the front. Then you have Mark Whitley, who had an EOL penalty to start this one out from the tail end of the field all the way up to third. Solid night for him. He still has the 15 of Alex Bell, though, to contend with. Bell taking it all the way to the outside, trying to take away that third position. And then we go back to Aaron Smith in 5th spot. Started on the pole. Challenged for the lead a couple times, just not able to get a lap led here tonight. That's unfortunate for him as he's sideways through 1 and 2, drifting. He holds on to it, but here comes some more cars. Here's a big wreck here. Big wreck in the back.
71 around, 73. Big hit, almost open over for the 73 car. McWhorter contact with the 99 machine of Brandon Wallace almost sends him flipping, and that is the last thing that Joshua Banks wanted to see in his mirror.
That is not what Banks wanted. He wanted this race to stay green. Now he'll be challenged. Here's the wreck.
Yeah, stacked up after that near spin from Aaron Brown, and it took out about 4 cars behind him. Big damage for McWhorter, for Ryan Carwile, both heavily involved in that, as well as the lap car of Brandon Wallace. Huge hits for all 3 of those drivers late in this race, and that is gonna be a massive blow to the hopes of some of these cars. Ryan Carwile, especially, one of these cars is on the playoff cut line and needed a good run, and who is destroyed in that accident.
Well, this starts with Aaron Smith getting loose out of 2, and that checks him up there on the outside. Smith is able to hold on to it, but he was saving that car even after the corner, and Mark McFadden comes in as well as the 99 of Brandon Wallace, and just so much damage, so much extra carnage to this. There's Jeff Wright sneaking by, but these lap down cars were just trying to get out of the way and avoid this incident. They were on the wave arounds here. Mark McFadden would have got that wave around, but instead he has to take it behind the wall.
I mean, 70 car just got loose, and everyone's stacked up behind him, just trying to avoid that rapidly sliding 70 car of Aaron Brown, who was clearly, or Aaron Smith, who was clearly struggling on the tires. And I mean, they all just kind of checked up, trying to not hit him, and ended up hitting each other.
A couple cars still out on the racetrack. Caleb Wakely is your leader here with 65 laps on this stint. Wakely throwing a Hail Mary with 2 races left. Would expect the 13 to probably stay out here for this green-white checker, try to salvage the day into the top 10. Then you have the 12 of Logan Threlkeld trying to get one of those laps back after all that damage repaired. 18 laps down for the 12 machine. You got Aaron Smith back there, who looks like maybe a fuel only or a right side stop. Bryce Shoemaker. And there's the Dominator from Martinsville. Haven't talked much about him today. He's in a situation now.
Yeah, he's leaving up to the field. A lot of strategy calls here are going to make this really interesting, especially because Bailey Turner had a better pit stop than Joshua Banks and got out in front of him. Joshua Banks is going to need to make some big moves. So is Bailey Turner. These top 3 cars are just going to try to hold on to get whatever they can get here, because we're going to go back to green with 2 to go.
Looks like we're approaching that green-white checkered territory. I think we're going to extend this race a little bit.
Yeah, get a couple extra laps on there. This caution, lights are off on the pace car, so they'll go back green. It'll be 2 to go for the green-white checkered, and they're going to have to figure out how this settles out. Caleb Weekly on pole, hasn't pitted in 67 laps. Aaron Smith, Bryce Shoemaker on 2, Bailey Turner, first car on 4. This is gonna be chaos.
3 green-white checkered attempts here in the Cup Series. So he's set to go for the first attempt. 67 lap old tires for the 13. Who's gonna do it? Pace car out of the way. 2 races left. And Caleb Weekly on the loud pedal. Here we go. Green flag. Aaron Smith on the outside. Lots of wheel spin. 3 wide into 1.
Joshua Banks, big send up the inside. He knows he needs to go. He's going to try to go. Get up the inside. Big contact behind Shoemaker around. And they're wrecking in the back. We're going to have to do it again.
Eric Hutton gets caught up in that. Christopher Hodges, who was just outside that cutoff line. Looks like a lot of damage here for the 51.
Yeah, major playoff implications there for Chris Hodges. 13th in the points, 3 spots out, and that car is not driving at all for Christopher Hodges. A heartbreak in the last 2 laps, the last green-white checkered of this race. And Shoemaker just loses it there. Gets contact with the car on the inside, and they all stack up. They're all so tight trying to get whatever they can on this green-white checkered. And everyone stacks up behind this accident. Yeah. Down into the 35. Maybe he's got a little loose off and hits Alex Bell in the 15 and chaos behind.
How about that bounce off the wall there for Eric Hutton? Look at this angle.
Ooh, yeah. Another car getting a little bit of air today. We've seen that a few times, and ooh. Trouble for the 51 there. Kick Christopher Hodges back out all the way across the racetrack.
Eric Hutton getting damage repaired. And Aaron Smith has found his way to the lead for this second green-white checkered attempt. I don't think we're done just yet. We've seen some carnage. We've seen some cars that have been up front for most of the day get caught up in that one. And Jeff Wright finding a way. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, with that accident, he's ahead of Alex Bell now. Alex Bell got caught up in that. Jeff Wright didn't. He's up to 8th. And he's going to have a great chance to try to take the lead here in the regular season standings tonight.
What a momentum swing. I mean, it goes back to what I originally said. We don't know who's going to be in this top 12 to finish this regular season out. Who's going to be in that cutoff line? We're going to go all the way to Atlanta to decide that. And that's what it's been here for Saturday Night Racing every single season. It continues on, picking up right where they left off. The Cup Series has been the premier series since the inaugural season back in 2022. And here we are sitting on season 3 with the Challenger Series. A lot of these drivers that are mixed throughout this field racing in that. And Sky, I don't know if you've been able to catch any of the Challenger Series just prior to this race. They're so competitive in there as well. Like I said, there's 8, 9 different winners in there. It is so crazy to see and try to quantify this data, because with the Challenger Series, we don't really have a measuring stick, but here in the Cup Series, we do, and it's still, nobody knows who's going to make it to that final 12.
Yeah, both series are hyper competitive, and we can see that here just tonight with the amount of lead changes we had, the amount of cars coming and going through the top 3, the top 5 all race. Aaron Smith is going to try to win himself $90 restarting on the front row. Bailey Turner's led a ton of laps. He's on 4 tires, while Aaron Smith is only on 2. Bailey Turner will roll off second on that inside. Joshua Banks, he's led a bunch of laps. He's going to try to reclaim the lead. I mean, Jeremy Miller, Chad Klinger, Mark Whitley, all these cars we've seen run up in the top 3 today, all hanging around still in the top 10. It's really, really competitive.
Well, it's been a while since I started putting that graphic up, and this is a good shot here for somebody to finally do it. Who's going to claim that? They're going to keep adding $10 to it, and somebody figures it out. Here we go. Let's find out if Aaron Smith can do it over Bailey Turner, who's dominated the race for the most part. Green flag's out, back underway. Second green-white checkered attempt at Richmond.
Aaron Smith will lead him down to turn 1. Joshua Banks is going to try to get the run on Bailey Turner. He's running on the outside, but he can't quite get there. They'll still stay side by side, and the longer they do, the better it is for this 70 car of Aaron Smith. He's on worse tires, and as we come to the white flag, he's got the lead. They're side by side behind. Can Aaron Smith get away?
1 lap to go, and Aaron Smith could be the first driver for the Clark Print Shop. Pole to EOL. Off of turn 2. Looks like they're side by side for second, and Aaron Smith, as long as he can hold on, he will. And here he is, race winner, Aaron Smith from Richmond. Finally, somebody does it.
Gets the $90, and he's got enough money to afford the spin into the inside wall here now.
Unbelievable. I never thought anyone would be able to put it together, but if there was anyone I would think, it would be the V-Speed Invitational Champion. And here he is in his 3rd appearance in Saturday Night Racing League. He said there is money on the line. I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, 3rd appearance, 2nd win. Got it done at Watkins Glen on the road course earlier this season, and he's coming to a completely different discipline, the short oval, and he'll get to burn it down here, too, on the front straightaway of the 3/4 mile Richmond Raceway.
Post-race interviews with your top 3. How about that for the Clark Print Shop EOL Challenge? He finally got it. Aaron Smith is victorious here tonight from Richmond. That is phenomenal. Couldn't have drawn it up any better. Man. I got nothing for it here. That is just an eventful race. Those race interviews with your top 3 and those final results. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we round up that information. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series live on V-Speed. We'll be back right after this.
Racing enthusiasts, are you ready to take your sim racing experience to the next level? Look no further because 29 Graphics has got you covered. Introducing 29 Graphics, the premier provider of high-quality sim racing wraps. Whether you're a professional racer or weekend warrior, our custom design wraps will make your car stand out from the competition. 29 Graphics is now the official graphics design partner of Saturday Night Racing League.
It's a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, he bumped in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash.
Contact 29 Graphics on their Discord or the link in the video description.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today. Or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
What is up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to V-Speed and subscribe to them because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Lap traffic out of the way. It's between these two. They're even for the white flag lap.
This race still very undecided.
Bradley had the lift. Big run for McWhorter. This is going to be his chance.
They're running out of time, and they know it. Horsepower at their feet.
That was a huge run for Bradley. He got back the advantage, but here comes a big dive. McWhorter might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, they put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Here comes Ray Massey. Ray Massey's going to win it.
Back here live from Richmond, Virginia, the Saturday Night Racing League has concluded their 207 laps. It was supposed to be 200, but we had to go 2 green-white checkers to figure out the result of this race. It was Aaron Smith who got it done here tonight. 12 lead changes and 9 cautions to decide this, and Aaron Smith, who started on the pole, he didn't lead a single lap there until the very end of this race. Joshua Banks, we're talking about a couple hundredths, not even a hundredth or two of a second there to finish out this race. He'll get second position over Bailey Turner, who led the vast majority of the laps here today for the top 3. Mark Whitley will come from the back of the field in 26 up to the top 5. Jeremy Miller, who was up front a lot of the day, had problems, got caught up in some wrecks. He claws his way back to a top 5. Jeff Wright making the best of the worst. He will finish in 6th. Chad Klinger, 7th, solid for him. Alex Bell will lose a little bit of position in the points lead. He'll fall back to 2nd officially. But going into Atlanta, the last race of the regular season, Alex Bell has his work cut out for him for that inaugural, or actually a regular season championship. Bryce Shoemaker, 9th position, and Caleb Weekley, who elected to stay out on 65 lap old tires in that last green-white checkered attempt. He will get the 10th position here tonight.
And moving outside of the top 10 here in 11th, We got 63 car of Max Cost there, moving up from 17th to 11th. Jerry Bergeron's going to finish behind him in 12th, with Taylor Butcher Benjamin finishing this race in 13th. Austin Belke in that 89 machine, 14th, with Eddie Trejo finishing in that 21 car in 15th. Casey Lakatos finishes 16th in that 50 machine, with Ryan Carlisle in the 71, 17th. That was the last car in the lead lap. One lap down will be Christopher Hodges in the 51 in 18th, and Brandon Wallace 2 laps down in 19th. With the final car in the top 20 is going to be Eric Hutton, 6 laps down in 20th.
Big problems there for Eric Hutton on the backstretch in that second to last caution. Joseph McWhorter also issues for the 73. He got caught up in that as well. He finished 21st. Mark McFadden, just a painful day for the 5 car. I think he was caught up in 3 of the 9 incidents we had here tonight. He'll finish in 22nd. Logan Threlkel, V-Speed's very own, he will finish in 23rd. Keith Shoemaker, 24th. Michael Jones in 25th. Robert Denton, an early exit to this race outside of the top 25. He'll finish 26th. Ray Massey, also early exit. Dakota Floyd, all of these cars behind the wall. Philip Brewer, 75, and Chuck Sweeting in 35th. 4 more cars to talk about. Benjamin Richards, heavy damage on that 56. He'll be out. Then you go to Rob Hamp in the 32nd position. Matthew Radford and John Sanu electing not to grid here tonight. He will round out your 34-car field from Richmond. And with that, it's time to take you trackside. We'll catch up down on pit road. First driver we're going to pull up into the booth is our third place finisher, Haley Turner, with a little bit of an echo here.
You good? Can you hear me?
There we go. We got you now.
Oh, gosh, what a race.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey, we talked to you earlier in this event. It looked like the 24 car was going to get away with another win and add 3 to that column. But you come into today with, kind of a mentality of you don't have to really push yourself. You're sitting good enough in the points that it's not a matter of, ruining what's gone on in the regular season.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating. I think getting off on the strategy there. I'd been beaten by Banks last time we were here on the 3-stop strategy, so I was, or whatever, it was a 2 or 3-stop strategy last time, and I was fully ready to do that and take advantage of that strategy. And once that caution came out, kind of midway through that fuel cycle, it kind of threw a loop in everything, and then allowed some other guys like Banks to get off strategy and get fresher tires when we had cycled to the front, and avoiding the wreck on a restart earlier in, I think, around lap like 112 or so. Spun the tires, unfortunately, and kind of took the good out of them early in that run, and then was just kind of hanging on for dear life, especially when all those guys on new tires were coming. And honestly was surprised I hung on as long as I did. It's just so hard to pass at Richmond on the long run. And but Josh was up there all day. He had the pace, really probably race-winning pace between Jeff, him, and I on the long run. I felt like we were all pretty good there, and I just felt like that one. I figured I wanted the caution running P2, and if caution comes out, and a few guys pull different strategies, and I finish worse than how I was running. So kind of a double-edged sword there. But big congrats to Aaron. That was a heck of a strategy call, and impressive that he hung on to that, especially with everybody on fresh tires kind of beating down on him. So honestly, just had a lot of fun tonight. It was a lot of good, clean racing up front with a handful of those guys. So I always appreciate that. And when I took, and there was a little give and take. So I'll just say that I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was an excellent race to watch. And Bailey, I know with your situation, you probably don't want guys that are outside of that top 12 in points to battle with. That it changes the situation when you have lap traffic or maybe some guys that stayed out. What was your take there on that final 2 with the green, white checkers? What was your take there with those drivers staying out in front of you?
Honestly, I'm glad Caleb has talent, because I was fully expecting him to jab the throttle and all of us die on the restart with those old tires with how many laps we had on those. And so shout out to him. Shout out to him for also taking care of me on the restart when I got to his outside. And yeah, I was just really trying to, on these restarts, you want to keep the momentum. So I was doing everything I could to stay up high. And then, unfortunately, Aaron took the top and Banks got to my outside. And at that point, you're just hoping to clear. And at one point, I got clear for half a second and tried to throttle up. And once I realized that I wasn't going to, stay clear on exit, I tried to give Banks enough of a lane to hang on. But yeah, I feel bad for him a little bit. That was certainly a race that he had in the bag, and he had the right strategy and kind of going off sequence. I think the pit penalty almost helped him to an extent. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to everybody over there at Hut Motorsports, admins. All you guys in the broadcast booth for putting on an entertaining show for us to go back and watch. And yeah, I'm not sure who the sponsor is tonight for the race, but shout out to them as well. Just thankful for all the support from all the league sponsors on Saturday night.
You beat me to it, and where we segue here on V-Speed. Bailey Turner, third place finish here by just a hundredth or two of a second. Looking at a top 5 in points as we go to the Old Atlanta in just a week. Thank you for your time, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
With that, we'll move on to our second place finisher, and it looks like Sky has caught up with Joshua Banks in the number 35.
Hey, Joshua.
Howdy.
Congrats on the second place night. I know that didn't go quite the way you wanted there with that caution coming out really late in the race, but you still made some pretty good headway in the point standings, got yourself pretty secure in the chase coming to Atlanta. So tell me how that kind of eases the pressure on you for next week.
I mean, grand scheme of things, big picture, it's good to get a good finish here and allow us to get a buffer from being near the cut line. I mean, we've not had a great season, and to be able to buffer that, it's nice. So thankful for that. But this one stings a lot. This is probably one of the hardest races that I could have won and didn't win. And just unfortunate the way things turned out. But just good call on Aaron to get that 2-tire call, and it got him up there and got him the win. So it was just fun racing though before that caution, final whatever it was. But it was good racing with Bailey, and it was tough, man. I'm not gonna lie, we were white knuckling that sucker, getting to him and trying to get that positioning to get around him. So it was fun, but hopefully we can just continue this momentum, getting up to the front, leading some laps, and continue it before the chase starts or the playoffs, and continue it through the playoffs.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had a couple really good battles there with Bailey Turner. You were going at it for the lead with about 30 to go, and then at it for second on the green-white checkered. I think you ended up beating him to the line by 0.017 seconds. So walk us through battling with him there over the last 30 laps of that race and how it was to race him.
I mean, Bailey and I always race hard, man. It's always a tight racing. We don't give much room unless early in a run or something. But when it comes down to it, man, we were door to door going at it. So glad to put on a show for the guys, for the fans at home watching. It was fun. It's stressful though, because you're like, I know I was quicker in that run, and just catching up to him, working through the field, finally catching to him, trying to get around and finding the line, getting that momentum to get underneath or something. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. But I had to be patient and just hopefully we can get that right position to get around them. And we did, but it just it didn't end out like we needed to. So
you got anyone you want to thank or shout out on the broadcast tonight?
Oh man, you guys up in the booth for putting on a good show, and definitely looking forward to watching this one, at least up to the point of the caution, of course. But thank you guys for doing what y'all do, and thanks to our admins for doing what they do with this league and doing what they do and putting on a good one and keeping a good field size out of this thing. I know we had some cautions, but we did have some good green flag runs there too. So thanks to the admins, thanks to our sponsors. Obviously, my sponsor, M&J Distributors, for sponsoring this league. We got Clark Paint Shop. There's some others. It's been a while since I've been through them, so forgive me if I don't call your name. I apologize.
Got you, Josh. If you need it.
Go ahead, Bradley. Call them out for me because I'm thanking them all. So let's see. I think that's about it. AB Motorsports, because Antron Brown, we're racing with his name on the car, so we got to shout him out every time I get up here in the booth. So try to get him out there and let him know, hey, we got some pace on here. So putting his name up there too. So That's about it, I think. So don't want to hold y'all too long.
All right, congrats on second place tonight, Joshua Banks.
I appreciate you, buddy.
And with that, Josh was trying to shout out. We got Clark Print Shop. We've got 29 Graphics. We've got Walking and Rolling Costumes. Of course, the first out of the gate, though, a lot of people have been a part of previous seasons. You got a shout out to Tractor USA as well. And those guys, what they did, Harpoon Designs. There's so many people that have been involved in this series. So, I mean, the list goes on. And then Jeff Wright and Chad Klinger and what they've done to put this together. Reggie Ortega and Bryce Shoemaker, and with the Challenger Series, there's just so many names involved. But the final name that we got to talk about is another multi-time winner, Aaron Smith, who's going to be up here in the broadcast booth. Aaron Smith, you finally take away the Pole to EOL Challenge. I don't have a graphic to solidify that. I wish I did. I mean, we mentioned it in the start of this race, but how many people have went from the front to the back of this field and got caught up in something? You yourself were behind a few incidents here tonight, but you found your way back to the front in the closing laps.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I was completely dead in the water in that last run there, and got a little loose, kind of stacked up a few cars behind me. So if anyone holds me at fault for that, I do apologize. But yeah, we took 2 tires. I told the folks in the VRX chat that I was about to do something pretty stupid, but it turned out to work.
Pretty stupid and pretty brave, pretty bold, whatever you want to call it, but it's pretty much in victory lane. Aaron, I got to say, what a call there to get this victory.
Yeah, it was a shot in the dark. I had no clue how well that left rear was going to hold on that restart, but I'm glad it did. I certainly could have spun him there. I got right on the gas, and it stuck, so always glad to see that.
When you find the grip here at Richmond Raceway, it's always a good sign. You come in here with limited participation in the Saturday Night Racing League. Is there a chance that we'll see your name when we go chase time?
I don't want to affect the playoffs too much. Like, I've done it before in a few other leagues. I really hate to be that guy, but if they want me here, like, I'll definitely try to show up for a few of these races. But yeah, we'll have to see.
It was 34 cars to start here tonight. Aaron Smith goes to the tail end of the field and goes all the way to victory lane. Anybody you would like to shout out here from Virginia?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at 29 Graphics, M&J Distributors, Walking and Rolling Costumes, Tractor USA, Clark Print Shop, and all the folks at V-Speed for putting these broadcasts on, putting these leagues on, and I'm always glad to be a part of them. I'd also like to thank the folks at PT Autosport for their support as well, and I'm looking forward to getting back at it whenever I show up next.
And I have one more question for you, Aaron.
Sure thing.
When are we going to get a V-Speed logo on that banana?
Oh, anytime. There's plenty of space.
Space for rent here on the 70 car. You heard it here first on V-Speed. Thank you for your time, buddy, and we look forward to seeing you possibly in some more SNR events.
10-4. Thank you.
And with that, it brings us to our conclusion of tonight's broadcast. We still have a lot of racing left to go. If you enjoyed tonight's action, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. Sky, any final thoughts here while we have him in Virginia?
I'm just impressed that Aaron Smith managed to drive his way through the whole field and get that $90 bonus. I mean, he looked out of it there before that last caution. Just a great strategy call to get himself in position to take this thing home.
I can agree with that. That was pretty clutch to work your way through the field like that. And overall, it's a challenge. That's why they put that money up there. He finally breaks the ice and is able to do it in the regular season. I thought we were going to be carrying that over into the next one with how long. I mean, we've seen several attempts at it, but nobody really got close. There was guys that led laps and the race didn't go for him at the very end. But tune in next week, next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern time, as we'll be going flag to flag from the Old Atlanta Legacy Racetrack here on V-Speed. Of course, you can tune in. If you hit that subscribe button, you'll get a notification anytime we go live. We do that on days that end with Y here on the V-Speed's main channel. Of course, you can also tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the Sunoco Cup Series, their second to last race. It's the final race of the round of 8. as we'll narrow it down just before championship week at Homestead, Miami. That's going to do it here for our coverage of the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. For Adam Baker, our other producers, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld, Christian Hill, Morgan Cook, I'm Bradley Cooper, and for filling in on a horn, Sky Shrek up in the booth, telling you so long, stay tracking, and we'll see you next time.